Back in the 80s, I went on a date with a girl named Sue. I knew a lot of Sues or Susies. Anyway, the first date went well, so I called her for a second date. On the phone, she asked me what I would do if I won the lottery. I said I would kick back on the beach for the rest of my life. She then asked if I would try to become a CEO or get a high-paying job. I said no, I won the lottery. Why would I work if I do not have to? Then she said she needed a man with ambition and she was going to go with a guy named Dave. I was like, who the fuck is Dave? Anyway, I said okay and hung up the phone. Now, I did not tell her about my plans on getting my master's or any of that stuff. In fact, I never mentioned any of these things to any girl I date. To me, a job is only how you make money. It's not who you are. She asked me what I would do if I won the lottery. She never asked me what my dreams, goals, or aspirations are. She never tried to get to know me as a person. And I'm not going to try and convince any girl to be with me. I'm not going to chase any woman. I chased a girl in high school, and back then I learned my lesson and never did that again. Remember, this was back in the 80s. This woman is 44 years old, and she wants a man with ambition. Because of her age, you cannot say that she is on social media all day, but she is talking the same stuff as younger women. I know women who are in their 80s and talk the same stuff as women in their 20s. I keep saying that what men are going through today is the same stuff we have always dealt with. The only real difference is it's all in your face.
They're like excessive.
Yes, they are. Is the average man ambitious? Is the average person ambitious?
Well, then I would have to say no. Well,
okay. All right, man. But if the average person isn't ambitious, and you're average, or would you say you're above average? Now, you said you gave yourself a 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's optimistic. I think it's very optimistic. So if you're even what you say you are, why do you get somebody who's ambitious when there is nothing about you in your life today that's ambitious? It's average.
Interesting.
I'm trying to understand, why do you think that's interesting? You've had, the longest relationship you had was 2 years. You've had a relationship that's 1 year. You're 44, no children. You got a bachelor's and a master's. You're making around less than 60 grand a year, and you're 230 some odd pounds. That's a lot. And then you say, I want a man who's ambitious, who has goals, and is driven. And I'm like, well, you can want that, but but can you afford that with your sexual marketplace value? You said your goals, your asking price doesn't top your sexual marketplace value. I think what you're asking for is about twice what your sexual marketplace value is.
And I can definitely understand what you're saying from, what you believe. All I'm saying is, for me, mm-hmm. I feel like I would be settling, and I'm not willing to do that.
Ma'am,
so,
I need you to understand what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Why would any woman, not just you, any woman that's middle age, 230 some odd pounds, getting a man who is average, why would that be settling?
The ambition part is what I'm talking about when I say settling.
What does he need to have ambition for? Maybe that's a better question. What does he need to have ambition for?
Well, like for me, I believe in generational wealth and planning for the future. So that's something that, you
have no children, ma'am. You have no children. You have no children.
That's true. I don't.
Where are the kids going to come from?
Pardon?
Where will the children come from?
Would probably be adoption at this point.
Man, generational wealth is a buzzword. You have no generations. Right? You have no children.
That's correct.
Do you plan on giving birth to any children?
Well, science is not on my side, so I'm a realist.
I asked you, do you plan on giving birth to any kid? So what I'm hearing is you still hold. And see, when I was going to do HBO, the last O was not going to be omnipotence. It was going to be optimism. And ma'am, you've painted an overly optimistic picture. At 44, ma'am, you're still holding out hope that you can get married and have kids. Right?
No, I've come to the place where I don't think that's a reality.
How long has it been since you accepted that reality?
About a couple months.
Couple months, man. Due respect, man. A couple of months at you're almost 50 years old. What month is your birthday in?
It's in July.
So you'll be 45 in July. You're almost half a hundo. Mm-hmm. And you're talking like a woman in her 20s. And I'm glad you're being honest, but I'm sad. What saddens me is that I see so many women in our generation who are delusional to where they're still talking this stuff about settling. Do you make room for the fact that a man would have to settle for you?
You know, it's a possibility simply because life is about choices and we have to choose.
Well, I mean, when I say settle, what I mean by settle, because you're five, what again? 5 tall, 5'9", 5'7"?
5'9".
Okay, man. Okay. If black men were snapped away from the earth tomorrow, poof, all gone. Every trace of black male DNA is gone. What do you think your marriage possibilities would be now?
If there were no black men?
Yes, no black men. None. None exist.
Well, realistically, from the information I've gathered, it would probably be like 0.
Okay. So the 30% number is because of black men.
Mm-hmm.
So you think black men's standards are lower than other men? Well, mathematically, that's what you just said. I'm just asking, because what I'm asking is, you said I got about a 30% chance, and then 50 it drops to 15. I'm like, okay, cool. But what if I snapped and all the black men are gone? All the black men are gone, just... Then you say, my chances today, where does that 30% go? And you said to 0.
Well, I'm basing it on the information that I've read where they said that of all the population of women, black women are the least likely to be selected.
Okay, we're talking specifically about you. We're talking not all the statistics, but do you have ambitious non-black men approaching you for serious relationship?
Could you repeat that last part?
Do you have ambitious non-black men approaching you for serious relationship?
To be honest with you, I really don't know. I don't know.
I guess the question I'm ultimately asking is, do you think a black man who's at your desired level would accept you? But would a white man, Hispanic man, Middle Eastern, or Asian man at the same level of that black man, would he accept you? Would any one of them accept you?
I don't, not at the same level. I don't think so.
Whose level is the lowest?
Pardon?
Which race of men's level would be at the lowest?
Asian.
You think an Asian man would accept you before a black man?
No. I thought you said the other way around.
No.
The
Whose level is at
lowest.
the lowest? Meaning, who would be most likely to accept and least likely
Who
to
would be the
accept?
most Hispanic, probably.
Hispanic men will more likely accept you over a black man. No. Hispanic men in general, the culture is very family centric. And women get to be around your age with no children. The family, the generation. And see, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have a conversation that everybody can use. And you came in saying some things that, hey, happiness is not on the man. And it sounds good. But I know what women are going to say. Okay, well, what are your relationships? And you don't have any relationships, really. And then that's fine. Life happens. But then you start talking about you would like to be in a marriage. And then you said the reason I'm not married is because of my standards. And ma'am, your standards are astronomical compared to your sexual marketplace value. The more we've talked, the more sure I've become the fact that you got a G-Wagon. You know what a G-Wagon is?
No.
A Mercedes SUV.
Oh,
the square
okay,
ones.
Yes.
Things like $250,000, right? Mm-hmm. People are paying $100,000 over sticker to get one in high demand. You got a G-Wagon kind of expectation, and you're like a Honda Accord, and you don't see it. That's why I changed the races of men, because you said, I feel like I got a 30% chance of getting married today, when 1 in 4 black women will marry in their lifetime. And you already know you're 44, you're as tall as you are, you weigh what you are, what you do. You already know these things. So that, if you were being realistic, like you said, that should really have lowered your number to about 10%. But you have to believe, because at this point, I get it, that's all y'all got left, because you're not doing the work. And then I said, at 50, what does it go down to? About 15%. Now, 50 goes down to almost 0. And you know why I say that? Because if I just simply switch the race of men, the truth comes out. I'm saying this so you can understand that, ma'am, if you want to have a different outcome, you're going to have time to put yourself on an 18-month timetable. You'll have time to finish. You need to do that today, tomorrow. You need to start this tomorrow. And you need to lower your expectations to match where you are. All those things need to happen. The job, not so much. The weight, the counseling, and then lowering your standard to match what you are. And see, we tell men to lower their standards all the time, but women are told to aim for the stars because y'all don't want to settle. And it just confused the hell out of us men to why average women don't want to settle. Audience, am I missing something here? Did you have anything you wanted to say, ma'am? Go ahead. You're not on camera. Go ahead.
Speak your speech. Speak your speech. I am aware of what you were trying to get out. Maybe I didn't articulate it properly. I know where I am in life because of choices that I've made. It's more apparent because I have listened to information that makes sense, and I can see the validity in it. One thing that I am is self-aware, and if I'm misstepping, I will take accountability for that. So unlike a lot of people who will never say, it's not me.
Okay, hold on. Use less words. Okay, hold on. Use less words. No, whoa. Okay, hold on. Use less words. So you say you do know where you are in life based on the choices.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm aware.
Okay.
I just didn't think ambition was a high standard, but when
it is. It is. Hold on, you're over talking.
I didn't realize that.
Ambition is. Why do you need an ambitious man at almost 45 years old? You don't have any children. You won't have any children. What do you need a man to have ambition for when you're over middle age? The building phase of life is over. We're in the later years, and especially if you take into consideration weight and health. Come on, man. Why do you need ambition? You said generational wealth. Women should want ambitious men when they are in their 20s, not 40s. But the real thing is, because I believe I'm higher than I don't believe that you really have a good grasp on where you're really at.